What do you think about I have a pipeline for mids and hot women.
Hmm.
Have you so I always say that mids go to big cities and get humbled. So
Hmm.
like they'll be the prettiest girl in like Kentucky, and then they
Yeah.
go to Miami and then they just pew, you just get
Yeah.
passed. And
Yeah.
then they
You're just
go
at Miami too.
yeah, and then just go back to the Kentucky and then marry someone from their hometown.
Hmm.
Have you seen that?
I have seen that. Yeah. I have seen, when I was living in the city, there were girls that would move from other places and they would mention, like they would say out loud, they would go like, I am less attractive here. People do not treat me like as nice as they did back where I was. There was one that came from, I think, Detroit. And she was like, maybe I should just go back to Detroit. So yeah, I have noticed that. What do you mean by a pipeline? You mean like putting them in the places that work better for them?
Yeah, like it's usually an example is like if a girl's like a 7 plus, she'll probably go to a
Hmm.
big school. So like for example,
Yeah.
Alabama, there's like the Alabama to Florida pipeline where you go to Alabama as a school if you're seven
Hmm.
plus. Then you go to Miami or maybe LA. Then you get dug out. There's a couple women that do win. They find a husband in the city and graduate. But
Hmm.
obviously there's more losers than winners. So
Yeah.
then, they get dug out. Then boom, they go back. And then usually it's like the hot girls are like within the city, like the most exciting part of the city. And around here, I'm like an hour away from the city, and I went 30 minutes close to the city. And
Hmm.
the whole bar, I shit you not, I went with Doug MPA, my co-host,
Hmm.
and it was a single mother club.
What?
Yeah, it was
That's
like
so
I
funny.
swear, I was like, I can't even make this up. And it was like 30. And I realized I'm like, so all the hot girls go to the city, and then like a bad decision takes
Hmm.
them out of it. So like for
Yeah.
them, it's like single motherhood. Now they're 30 minutes out, and that's the best they can do.
Yeah.
An hour out, you get even uglier. So a lot of guys like
Yeah.
they might think they're unattractive, but if they just lived where like the hot women are, like one would be
Yeah.
bound to, you know.
Yep. That's kind of what brings everyone to the cities. Like that's kind of, I don't want to be a downer, but like it makes me feel like that's why, like that's kind of why, that's the most black pilled opinion I think I have, that people are always drawn to those high population density areas, and those are the ones being ruined the most by all this, by all the social degradation. You kind of can't go, like I have all these friends who are trying to escape and live out in the middle of nowhere, like in the Rockies, in the empty quarter. They're like, we're going to move out there and we're going to start a gym, and they get out there and there's like five girls that are above a four, and they're like, there's no, you can't make this happen. We're not going to all marry the same girl. There isn't enough because they all leave. All the girls who can get anything from anywhere leave those remote areas. So it's like impossible to move there unless you just want to die alone.
Yeah, and you can kind of see how hot a girl is by how big of a city, like she tends to pick.
Yeah.
Because if it's like LA, I rate LA, Vegas, Miami, New York,
Hmm.
Scottsdale, Arizona as like the most beautiful women go there. Is there any city you think I missed?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think, like the first time that I ever went to Portland, I thought that they had hot girls there, but it was just a fluke. I just saw like sort of the same kind of girl too many times in one day. Miami, New York, Los Angeles, those are the big ones. No, I don't think you missed anything. Not that I know of.
Atlanta? No, I don't. I think Atlanta would be a
Yeah.
tier two. Like, because then that's like tier one. Tier two is like Chicago, Portland, like big cities, but like they're not really
Hmm.
known for hot girls, but just because they're so big, some of the hot
Yeah,
girls
they'll
will
be
go there.
there.
Yeah.
They'll
Like,
be there. I think
if you,
New York and I don't know. It might be Miami. I know that New York is where I would be if it wasn't New York, if you know what I mean. Like if it didn't have New York rules in
mhm.
play, that's where I would go.
Yeah, you got all the models there.
Yeah, exactly. Fashion. There's also more men per woman, more women per man in New York. You've got the other way around on the West Coast, but New York is a good numbers game for men.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing about Atlanta.
Yeah.
Although you
Yeah, the
mess
East
around,
Coast and the West
you
Coast are
mess
kind of like
around
that.
there too much, you might get AIDS. There's like an AIDS epidemic there.
Yeah. Yeah, Atlanta's I don't know. I haven't actually visited, but I've only heard rumors, but
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a destination.
But yeah, and then I have like tier 2 cities, which are like, it's like tier 1, which are big cities, and then like mid-level cities like Philadelphia. I've heard there's pretty
Mm-hmm.
girls. Boston, which are like
Mm-hmm.
near a big city, but they're not quite. Usually the sevens go there, especially if
Yeah,
they're used to being the hottest girl. They might go to New York for a year and they can't take it.
exactly. Yeah, Boston is where you find like the upper mids who have really great jobs and they have really expensive rent. It's kind of it's, I don't know, kind of a snottier city. I think Boston is. It's like they are more socially conscious there, if that's possible. Is it possible to be more socially conscious than New Yorkers?
What do you mean by socially conscious?
Like aware of status and aware of the importance of where you live and how you're dressed and what kind of music you listen to. And I'm listening to cello music, I'm more refined, a little bit more like attached to the classiness of being in a city rather than just like, I'm doing it, I'm in the Big Apple. I don't know, it seems like a different vibe.
That was the biggest culture shock I had when I moved to England, because I was there for 3 years, was the people dress so much nicer. I would come back to America and people would be like, why are you dressed so fancy?
Yeah, I know,
'Cause
it's ridiculous. People just dress with bags here.
Want more math? Go to itishomemath.com and get the newsletter for insider updates, more videos, and other stuff.